Hey everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to the channel. We've been promising you guys an update video, so here we are. It's Saturday. Pretty much a perfect day because it's, I don't know what, 65 degrees or something. Super light breeze, barely, and not a cloud in the sky. This is our new winter, and it's crazy cool just to be here.
It's pretty much summer, but just called winter.
That's right.
Yeah, we're enjoying our new winters.
Yeah, this is epic. And like last night we walked out of somewhere. We walked out of a restaurant and it was bone cold, like breezy and cold, and it instantly got in the middle of your bone and made you want to just run or freak out or something. Like, it does get cold, but it's winter in America, right? It's winter across the whole country, and you're gonna have to deal with it some way or another. And this is not so bad. So we get some cold nights and some windy days where it's a little chilly, but overall, we'll take it.
Yeah.
This is game changer, and we love that the pavement is dry and we're not shoveling our driveway
Or slipping on ice.
or driving around in winter conditions.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is pretty epic. Every day we're kind of reminded, like, oh yeah, that's why we're doing all this work to transition to a new location, because this is the life. In California, you got us beat. You got the best weather ever. We just can't afford to live in California. Can't do it.
It's true.
But anyway, we want to give you guys an update on a few things. We've seen people asking questions on other videos. So just to set this up, we decided on sun behind us, and we need some comments from other people that know about video. Should we have sat over there and had the sun our face?
Well, the lighting,
is it looking shadowy right now? Is it dark and kind of like we can't see them, you know?
I doubt that's the case, but we did have it facing the other direction, but your hat was casting a shadow.
Yeah, I had a shadow right here. Last update video, the camera was like on my mouth the whole time, or whatever, on my chin. Remember that? It ruined the video. So we're trying to figure out the lighting game, but we've been talking about eventually wanting to set up a studio for videos like this where it looks really cool in the background and you can just walk in, sit down, and you're all set up to
hit record.
Yeah, talk to your YouTube family. But yeah, so what are we talking about today?
Well, we have 5 things we're gonna just briefly update you guys on. The first one is work, which I can give a few comments on how it's been as the wife of you working, but give your quick Cliff Notes version.
Cliff Notes version? So yeah, I started January 18th, so I've been at it for a month. I've been going through some kind of ups and downs, but essentially I'm an air traffic controller and was at Anchorage Center for 13 years, and now I'm at Las Vegas TRACON, and I'm a month into learning the airspace and procedures at this new facility. And basically what it's like is trying to learn how to write with your opposite hand. So for me, I'm right-handed. It's like learning how to write with your left hand, and you have to make it look really good and be efficient at it. So I know how to write. I know English, I know how to spell, but guess what? You put a pencil in your left hand and it's, you know what I mean? It's just so different that you really got to dedicate yourself to learning all over again, in a sense. Like, I know what needs to be done, but it's a huge learning curve. Yeah. So that's kind of what I've been going through, and I have a personality where I'm pretty hard on myself. I expect a lot out of myself, and I don't like to suck at stuff.
And everyone else.
What?
Huh?
Yeah, I do have, I tend to have high expectations for the people around me too, which I have to just meter that, but I'm hardest on myself, if that counts for anything.
Yeah.
So.
And it's good. I need someone like you in my life.
Because you're lazy?
Continue.
She admits it. If you guys are into the Enneagram, I'm a 1 and she's a 9.
Which I can accept the lazy title because that's part of an Enneagram 9.
Yeah.
But
it also happens to be an excuse that she uses a lot. Well, that's just how I am.
When most people think about lazy, or at least when I think about the word lazy. I think couch potato sits on the couch, does nothing, just a bum. And I would say
That's you to a T.
This can be a whole nother video because
Okay, yeah,
it'll take up too much time.
yeah. Anyway,
Continue.
I'm hard on myself, and I really want to do a good job and know what I'm doing, and I just don't yet. I have to go through this kind of slow process of learning everything I need to know to be able to do my job. And the training environment is very challenging. So it's a lot of pressure, and you got to show up every day and study, and really apply yourself to the best of your ability. And that takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot out of me, and it's just been a challenge. But at this point, a month in, I'm starting to feel a little better about where I'm going to end up, and everything's gonna be fine. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of putting in the hours of studying and practicing. But yeah, feeling good at the moment, but still having to work pretty hard to continue the training process. And I think it'll be another couple of months, maybe 2, 3, 4 months before I'm able to like do the job on my own. Could be as long as 6 months, I don't know, but that's kind of where we're at with that. And my main thing is just try to get to bed early every night and keep exercising and making sure my body is set up to be able to go through this and just get it done. So I'm very encouraged by this, this weather and being in a new spot that we love. That really carries me through the challenge, and I also think it's a really good thing to challenge yourself and do something that's really, really hard. I've heard plenty of times that it's that kind of thing that brings out the fullest potential in someone. So it's uncomfortable, but it really is a good thing to try new things, do hard things, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, we're in the middle of it.
Yeah, and we've had to tweak a lot of things because we knew coming into this that you were going to have to relearn a new airspace, and that it was going to be challenging. And really, any facility you would have gone to, it would have been that case. And so we knew it was coming, but then the reality of it hit, and there was all these other things that we were trying to okay, how do we manage all this and put the right pieces in the right spots? And I feel like you said we're in a good spot now, and the last month or so has just kind of been this process of figuring out what's going to work in order to, like you said, help you be the best you can be for training, which leads us into the number 2 item, which was a huge thorn in our side, to use that phrase, is our vehicle situation. And this is kind of number 2 and number 4, but the truck. We were using just the one vehicle, and then he had the bike, and it was 17 miles to the gallon. It takes him about 40 minutes to get to work one way. And on the days I needed the truck and we didn't have the other family vehicle available, I was having to drive him to work in the mornings, drive all the way back, do our thing, and then we go pick him up and come back. So it was 2 round trips. And it was about $90 to fill the tank, and it was just so stressful anytime we got in the truck because you could just see that gas meter go down. And we were on track to spend about $800 a month in gas, which I think the highest we ever got was $500 in Anchorage when we were living up on the hill.
Yeah, and we would do it if it made sense to keep the truck and we loved that thing and had a use for it. We would have just, you got to pay for gas, and it's one of those budget items where I'm like, I don't care. You got to put fuel in your vehicle, whatever it is. But the truck was really uncomfortable. It's a half-ton Chevy Silverado, and for some reason, going down the highway, the back end, the bed of the truck bounces. So it was actually really annoying going down the highway in that thing, because the whole time that's what it was, and every time you talked you could hear that in your voice. So we were like, okay, we don't need a truck to be getting around winter conditions or hauling a bunch of stuff. It's really uncomfortable, it's bad on gas, and it's we gotta let the truck go. So you would have thought it would have been a tough situation, or
tough decision
for me, because that's been my favorite truck I've ever owned. It hasn't broken ever in 6 years, and it's been our best vehicle ever. But now that we're here, it's we gotta just abandon everything we have known before and really think smartly about all these decisions. So we went ahead and domesticated ourselves and traded in the truck for a Camry.
Yes, more specifically a 2019 Camry hybrid.
Yeah.
And yeah, like he was saying, it, you know, we had said, oh, we're never going to get rid of that truck. And it was weird how there's been a few things that once we got down here and kind of like got the lay of the land and or understanding what our new lifestyle is like, yeah, it was like an easy, yeah, let's get rid of the truck. So,
and real quick, pretty cool how the deal went down. We went to a dealership and said, hey, we want to trade this thing in for a hybrid. And initially we looked at this car and they said, okay, we'll take your truck and then you need to give us $4,000 and you'll get the car. So that was kind of the difference as the way it all worked out. And we were like, nah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to pay any money. We want to just do an even trade. So we kept shopping, and then we got a call a week later or whatever, and they were like, good news, we can make it work. So we were like, okay, essentially they moved $4,000 in our direction, and it made us feel like we were getting a pretty good deal out of it. So
yeah, and it
basically we swapped titles and went on our way.
And that was the cool thing is which this is going to roll into number 3, is our shipment of all of our stuff from Alaska. We didn't have the titles for the truck or any other vehicle because it was in that shipment. Yeah. And as we were driving,
which was kind of a dumb move. Like we should have.
Well, we didn't think we were. I mean, it wasn't even on our radar.
We thought our stuff was going to get here before we were.
Yeah, and it just got here like 3 days ago. So in the process of driving over to Chapman Dodge in Henderson, shout out. Yes, Bertha, thanks for your help. We were like, shoot, we don't have the title, and so we were trying to scramble and figure out. And in Anchorage, we were gonna have to like
give someone power of attorney in Anchorage. They were gonna have to go get
to the DMV
a reprinted title and then overnight it to us and all this other
yeah
craziness.
But at last minute, when we were signing all the paperwork, we were like, oh yeah, we don't have the title yet, and the guy was like, oh, just sign this extra paper and I can get it. So it was like the cleanest deal. We did have to wait for a while, just like every car dealership, but overall.
What was it, 12 hours at the dealership? Just kidding.
No,
3 or 4.
Altogether though, maybe I'm adding in.
It was like 50 hours.
It was painfully long, but that's how car dealerships are.
Yeah, that's
true. They gotta dominate you in that way.
That's a whole nother video that we can go on about. But so we packed up all of our stuff in November, mid-November, and then they say, okay, 4 to 10 weeks till your stuff is in your hand in Vegas. Well, based on how much stuff you have, they charge you 10 cents a pound for them to store it until they get it on a truck and get it driving down the road. And we were expecting like 2 months, and so it was right around $400. We were like, okay, that's fine. Well, they charged us for January, and then they charged us for February, and we were like, what the heck? Like, it's past the 10 weeks, we want our stuff. And they were kind of not very, there was a couple of the admin people that were like very responsible with their communication with us, but then the one guy that we needed to talk to had a hard time calling us back. But long story short, we got the call last week that they were going to be here. The kids and I went to our storage unit on Tuesday, and I wasn't thinking about it, but the guy showed up in a full-size semi-truck. And to get into our storage facility, you have to make a right turn, and then a tight left turn and go through a gate. And it's like a big square lot. And it was this huge ordeal where he was yelling at the lady that worked there, because she was pissed that they were blocking her spots. And anyways, he Austin Powers'd it back to our unit. They were able.
Powers'd it?
Yeah. You know that scene?
Yeah.
Where you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they were able to.
I wasn't there, so I couldn't see.
But you know the reference.
Yeah.
And you could envision a giant semi-truck trying to get through a tiny space. But yeah, they crushed a few of our boxes. I don't think anything was broken, but the guy, Brandon, I think, said to contact their insurance company that will replace some of those items. So anyways, it feels awesome to have our stuff here finally. We haven't had any time to really go in there and go through any of it, but fortunately.
The good thing is that we're not living in our home yet, so we haven't needed any of our stuff. If we got here and moved right into our home, we would be sitting on the floor. Actually, we would have gone without most of our stuff for over a month, and I'm just glad it was not that kind of situation. I guess in the future, we'll anticipate well, who knows?
Well, we're not moving again.
There's
for a
COVID
lot.
and there's Alaska problems, and
Yeah.
we're not going to do this again, but we kind of lucked out not needing our stuff and whatever.
Yes,
we'll have to chop this number 3 down.
Yeah. Which rolls into number 4, which is we did need the title to the truck and to the motorcycles because we sold both our motorcycles last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We sold them. Basically, we both owned a bike and we enjoyed riding those around Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get here. She is not the most adventurous rider, doesn't want to deal with crazy drivers or traffic. So it was a pretty quick decision to go, okay, she doesn't need her bike down here.
Even though it was like my dream bike.
Well,
but
yeah.
for riding, it was a perfect bike for Anchorage. Here, no way.
Yeah, so it's just not a big enough passion for you to take on the risk. So I was like, okay, we have these 2 machines, and it would be more valuable for us to just sell them and have the money than have them sitting around for who knows how long.
Yeah.
And then with my bike, I was commuting and am no longer going to do that because it's just too crazy. And then we were like, well, I would enjoy riding from time to time, but on a better bike. That I knew that bike was not the one that I would ultimately love to have. So again, it was like, let's just sell it, and later down the road I can get myself a better bike for the kind of riding that I'll enjoy doing. And it could be, we don't even know, could be one of those crazy like one-up style riding bikes where you have basically 2 lazy boys on the thing and like a full entertainment system, and you know what I mean, just go old man style. And
I think we're there.
yeah, we don't know yet, but either way, we're not going to ride for definitely not the immediate future, if not, for several years. And it's just better to kind of simplify and offload things that are going to complicate life right now. So
yeah,
we got rid of the bikes
and
took a little loss on them, but whatever.
Yeah, it was fun while they lasted. Good experience. And for me, I loved having that scrambler in the season of life we were in Alaska, and just being able to putz around to the grocery store and stuff was very life-giving. So,
and we tend to be quick to sell stuff. I know it's not everyone agrees with that way of living, but we kind of think the more stuff you own, the more stuff owns you, and it really does complicate life. When, like, for example, the bikes, they would be sitting in storage, and then we'd have to move them to the house when we get into that, and that's a lot of work and a lot of stuff to keep up on. And so, and
a lot of the stuff that we've sold in the last few years have been opportunities for a better situation. And so I think that we look at the bikes, we look at the truck, we look at whatever, and we're like, okay, here's how we feel with that. Is there a potential better feeling we could have, or better way of life, or you name it? And if the equation fits and it's a positive, then we usually are pretty quick to pull the trigger. So we sold the bikes to Ducati, which was cool.
It was easy.
Yeah, it was super easy. And feels good. There hasn't been anything that we've sold, so for, I guess, the trucks and the bikes, where I've felt any type of regret. It's like a huge breath of fresh air, and
just simplify.
Awesome. Yeah. And number 5, the final one, is our gym.
Oh yeah.
Lifetime has...
Ooh, here comes the wind. That feels really good.
That does feel really good.
My back was burning off from that sun. The place is really nice, very clean. It's like 3 or 4 floors. They offer tons of stuff, very little of which we take advantage of, but still it has a great vibe where the staff are super friendly. They're happy to see you there. We drop the kids off for 2 hours a day to hang out in the kids area, and all those guys know their names, and they seem to have this cool little relationship, which I love. And when we pick them up, they tell us how they did, and it's really cool to hear how they've interacted with other kids, and they do some of the coolest stuff in the kids area. They were doing Mentos in Coca-Cola recently, and I'm like, you guys did that in the kids area? It's just really cool to know that the kids are loving their time there.
Yeah,
it gives us freedom to do our thing. So.
Yeah, and they do yoga and gymnastics and dodgeball and all this stuff, and it's fun because Nash, the first time we picked him up, he was like, I hate yoga. They made me do yoga. And now that's like his favorite thing to do, which is...
Yeah, and that's now. She flip-flops on these things, but still.
Kids area is awesome.
Kids area is awesome. The kids are in swim lessons, which they're doing excellent. Their instructor is perfect for the kids. And then the other really cool thing that we recently took advantage of was parent night out. So it's about twice a month. They will take your kids for 3 hours from 5:30 to 8:30 in the evening, and you can go out on a date. So you can leave the facility. And
Awesome,
that is so cool. So we were kind of thinking, okay, if we paid a childcare worker, let's say 20 or 30 bucks an hour for 3 hours a night, twice a month. I mean that alone is enough of a financial benefit to offset the $400 a month that we're paying for the membership, to where it's like, okay, because of the vibe and all that they offer and the fact that it's really enhancing the health part of our life, for now, while we're living rent-free, it makes total sense to have that membership, and it's been good.
Yeah.
It's burning out here, guys. It's burning.
She's burning. Yeah, and they have a little cafe in there that has great smoothies.
Oh yeah.
And
I had a shake the other day that had 70 grams of protein. They have this bodybuilder one that's 55 grams, and then I was like, you know what, throw some collagen protein in there. And it took it up to 70, and the guy was even like, you sure you want this? And I'm like, bring it.
Was that the one you had spinach in?
Yeah.
And it tasted pretty good.
Tastes pretty good.
It's great.
We don't know if we're going to keep going with the gym membership once we get into our home, because we have our home gym thing going. But at this point, we're like, we don't know, because we're enjoying it so much that we may want to, keep paying the $400 a month, even though we'll have an option at home. It's hard to say what we'll do, because...
Well, yeah, I mean, right now it's a 25-minute drive from where we're staying, but when we move into the new house, it's 5 minutes. It's literally the next exit up.
Yeah.
And I feel like come summertime, when it's super hot and we don't have our pool yet, we're going to be itching for a pool. And they have this amazing outdoor pool, 2 different pools outside with cabanas. I mean, it's like a hotel pool. And then they have this huge water slide. So I have a feeling that we're going to want to keep it at least until we get our pool put in and all that stuff, but we'll see.
That's what's happening with us. Hopefully are you going to be able to whittle this down to a reasonable amount of time?
Yes, I need to. If you're still watching, thanks for catching up with us and watching our videos. We really love to engage with you guys, and we're hoping to keep churning out the videos. We got a few more planned because tomorrow is my birthday.
Oh yeah, she's turning 40.
No, I'm close. I'm going to be 38. And yeah, we're going to go out on the town, just Jess and I, and take the camera along. So who knows what we'll capture, but it should be fun.
We have a ramen video coming up.
Oh,
and
maybe a hoverboard video.
Oh.
I don't know if any of that got salvaged, but yeah, I fell off the hoverboard and ate it pretty hard. And unfortunately, we didn't get it on video, but yeah, I don't know if we'll post that one. We'll see.
Okay, so we'll see you soon in another video. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We'd love to hear your comments below. And
see you on the next one.
there it is.